Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first mail class for this channel. Today we go to learn HTML. First thing where I want you to know na say HTML a very sweet language to learn. HTML simple die, but as it takes simple reach, na he also dey important reach. With that HTML, all of these websites where you dey see around, no fit work. Cause na HTML we take the build website to structure our website so that the browser go fit know how to display everything where you dey see. A family of HTML that hypertext markup language. And to learn am for this tutorial, you go need two things. The first thing wey you go need na browser. Me, I go dey use Chrome browser. And the second thing wey you go need na code editor. The most popular editor wey most programmers dey use na VS Code. So I go like make you download both Chrome browser and VS Code. Of course, if you not get any of these things, even if you not get laptop, you fit still watch this video. Learn the basics of a few things, but I go advise say me you immediately try to get laptop and get this thing so that you go fit practice, because without practice, you know fit become better programmer. Now I go assume say you don't get all these things and we will start. The first thing we will do now say we will create the folder where we want build our website in. Any web development project where you want to do go begin with you creating the right folder. And the kind folders when you dey create depend on the framework when you dey take create your website. Now, most programmers now React that they create their front end of their website. But before you go fit learn React, you go first learn HTML, CSS, and normal JavaScript, wey we dey call vanilla JavaScript. So because we know they use React today, we go just create our folder by ourselves. Me, I go call them lesson website. Inside our lesson website folder, we go on start to create the files we go use for our website. The first file we will create la index.html file. This index.html, you just write down in small letters and you must end them with this .html. Both these things are very important because once you host your site, now this index.html file, now in the browser will they look for to launch for your website. So you know my if you don't write all this kind of beautiful code, you don't write all this kind of beautiful websites. If you don't get this index.html file, or if you go name on something else, the website no go work because the browser no go fit launch up. All these kinds of small rules and standards, they're very important for programming. Because programming na about standard, na about rules we say everybody can follow. And if everybody follow that rule, everything will work well. But if you not follow this rule, your program no will work well. By the way, this our website folder. You fit create them anywhere for your computer. Once you don't create them and open them for Visual Studio Code, any file where you dey create inside go dey show for your computer as well. This say as I create this index.html file, it show for Visual Studio Code and it will show if I go use normal File Explorer for Windows. Now we don't get our index.html file, we fit start to the build. To build websites, the first thing when you go do, let's say you go open the HTML element. Now like this with the door. Anything when you see we get angle bracket like this, my element with a column for HTML. Inside this HTML element, now he on of our other elements could be. This one alone now with the column tagged, but if you add them together with the column elements. So this HTML tag, when you open a tag, when you close out with another tag, you don't for elements. And the first one now opening tag, while the second one now closing tag. Now inside this HTML element, now two things we they always put. The first thing my head element. This head, now when we dey store data about our website, we will say people no go see for our browser, but the browser will see am. Why the browser got here? To understand important information when he need to do some things, but the people where they use the website no really need. To create the head elements, we will go through the same step. Now, you feel write these things full by yourself, like this. Or if you just use VS Code shortcut. We go make your life dey easier. To use the VS Code shortcut, all you need to do now to add and press Tab T. It will help you fill am by itself. After the add element where I tell you say now only the browser go see, the second one wey we get na the body element. Now inside this body element, all of our main code for the website where people dey see go dey. For now, we will just open this body element, leave am. Inside this add element now, we go open another element wey we dey call the title element. Now here we go enter the title of our website. Again, na only the browser go see this information. Our people wey dey browse our website no go see am. One other thing wey I gats tell you na say your own Visual Studio Code fit no dey behave like my own because say I get some extensions for my VS Code wey dey do some things for me, including formatting this code. So if you want make your own too dey format for you, wetin you go do na say you will go add extension. You will click this extension page and you will add the extension wey dey call Prettier. Now this extension will dey help you format your code instead of for you to the formatter yourself. Another extension wey you will need na Live Server. This Live Server extension go make sure say as you direct your HTML code, once you save am, you go fit see am for your browser. I will show you later how to set this one up. But for now, make we continue with our lesson. Now inside our body element, we go add two new elements. The first one na H1. This H1 stand for heading 1. It means say na the biggest size of heading wey we get for HTML be that. Again, to write your tags and elements, you go open angle bracket, write H1, then close up. Then you go write another H1, but this time you go add / before. Now how we take they do opening and closing tag for HTML be that. The second element we go open for our body element na the P element. This P element now, paragraph is stand for. You don't need say you dey write normal text as normal paragraph for your website. Again, you go write down the same way we will write the opening and closing tags for our other elements. Now our website don't dey ready for us to see for inside our browser. Remember that extension that I say you go download, Live Server. Na him will dey show us our website and you go dey update am every time we save our project. So what you go do now say once you save this file with Ctrl S, you go right click and then you will choose open with Live Server. You go automatically open your default browser and you will see your website. Now, if you look on top, you will see the title of our website. I tell you say this title now inside the head it will be because we know will show for our main browser, but people go dey fit see am for the tab. Now, the things will you put inside our body, big H1 and the paragraph, now you dey see for here. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will introduce you to CSS small. Now, CSS now another thing on its own way we go learn for another video. But today, I won't make we do small CSS to just change this page small. CSS na cascading style shakes. Now, what will they take the use style our website? And they see with this HTML, we fit use them do the structure of our website, do the title, again, and other things. But it no go fine. It go just be like we write normal text. To make them fine, to give them armor, to give them shape, to give them animation, and to beautify them, na CSS we dey use. CSS they very bulky on its own. So I no go explain them for now so that I no go waste our time. I will just paste this code to simply change the font and the background of our page. You not just worry about this one now. I go dey release full CSS videos wey go show you how to do all of these styles and more like a pro. Now, may we continue with our HTML. Even at this point for our tutorial, you could only notice say most things we you go do with HTML now about all these tags and elements. So basically, you're going to need to learn as many tags and elements as possible and waiting these tags and elements they do. Now, we don't learn about our HTML tag. We don't learn about our edge and body. We don't learn about H1 and paragraph. Another one we need now meta. This meta may we dey put for under our edge we dey use am dey specify some kind attributes about the website. Again, I tell you say everything wey dey under head, the viewers no go see am for browser. Na just your way of communicating with the computer and giving am some information. This meta now, we dey use am dey give specific information about your web page to the browsers, but not to the users. Plenty information dey wey you fit store inside meta, but one of the most common na wetin we dey call character set. You will use meta char set UTF-8 as I do am for this page. Another thing wey you go learn for HTML apart from tags and elements na attributes. Attributes dey different from elements, but they dey work together. Every element fit take in attributes. Attributes na say you dey give specific characteristics and properties to your element. Most of the times, we dey use am differentiate from other elements, and most of the time, we dey also dey use am give information. I will dey tell you more about attributes later, but for now, I will add these language attributes to our HTML file. This one too, we dey use am show the browser say, okay, na the language wey we dey operate in be this. Again, this one no be for your readers o. Na so that the browser go understand more about your website and more about how to efficiently serve am to your users, and sometimes even help them translate am. Lastly, another thing wey I wan put up before we move on to the next section na doc type. I tell you say to start your website, you will start with the HTML. But true, before you even write HTML, you need to declare the doc type. Now, like so, will you do am? This one too, no be for your users o. Na just to give more information about this specific document. Say, oh, the type of this document na HTML. Now, all of these things, including tags, attributes, properties, I go still dey explain more. So no more why if you never understand by well, just focus on the elements and the tags wey we dey discuss for now. As I dey introduce you to more elements and tags, you will dey understand more of these attributes and properties. The next thing wey we go look at na more meta tags. I think you say these meta tags, we take am dey add information to our website. So now I will tell you other information wey you fit add using meta. The first one na name and content. This name and content, we dey use am dey tell our browser certain information. If it be early information wey you want, now you go decide. But you go use the name, set the name of the information wey you gon give, and you go use the content, set the exact information itself. For instance, if I wan tell her the creator of this website, I fit say name equal to creator and content equal to code switch Kenji. If I wan tell am wetin the page dey about, I fit say name equal to about and content equal to describe some things wey the website wan do. Again, the people wey dey view your website no go see these ones. Na only the browser go use am understand more about your page. Another reasons why we dey do am na say search engine like Google and Bing, they use this information to understand your website more so that they go fit rank you and send visitors to your website. So if you dey work as web developer now, you dey build websites for your clients. Your clients go want to make their website dey on Google. And if you figure out and say, okay, I know the optimizations wey I go do, we go make your website dey rank for Google. Now, another reason why they go want work with you and employ you be that. Moving on to the next tag wey we dey add under this head. This one na link. Link na wetin we dey use reference other files and pages. For instance, remember the CSS code wey I paste under this head back then. Usually the CSS code wey go dey your page go long. You go too long to just put am on top this page. You know, go make your code very readable. So wetin we dey do na say we go create another file, .css file. Then we go all use this link reference that file so that as the browser they open this index.html file, you go use this link, follow am to our CSS page, and there he will apply all the styles on top this HTML page. They also use link reference JavaScript code, because even though you feel write your JavaScript code on top this HTML page, again, it go dey too long and you no go make your code dey readable. So we dey write them for another page, then go all use this link reference that page. And like this, we dey do am. Another thing wey you fit use link do na to add logo to your page. This logo now it go show for the tab of your website. Now this code you will use. You see say after we use the link, we add other attributes. The first attribute na rel. Now how this thing dey related to your page. So you will tell the computer say okay, the rel na say na logo. Then you will add this href. Now this href will take the tell the exact location of the material or the page where you the reference. This href for our logo now, now the picture where we don't add to our folder. If you dey reference anything for your HTML file or even any code where you be write when you start to dey write JavaScript and React, you gats make sure say e dey under the right folder. So this logo now, I don't copy am from the internet. I go add am under my folder. Then I go use this rel to specify the link to where this page dey. Now like this, I draw am. You see say everything must be correct. The name of this file .png. If like JPG, it got be JPG. If anything dey wrong, this browser no go fit find out. And you see say when we reference our CSS page too, we make sure say this main.css we will take store that file. Now in with the reference. If you got make mistake, write main or main, you know go work. You just write the exact main of the file. Another thing wey I gats tell you now say all these things like link, rel, and the pin here they did our head file, e dey good to know all because they will ask you for interview and you fit need to change some stuff for yourself. But I will be honest with you. If you start the code and start to work with real framework like React, Svelte, and Angular, you know what they need to write all these things yourself. All of these tools like Visual Studio Code and other AI tools go dey wey go help you write them chap chap. So you don't need to really cram anything for now, but they fit ask you for interview. And even if they not ask you, it dey good to know all these basic things as na wetin go separate you from other programmers be that. Now, may we go our website to see if it still dey work. You see say everything still dey work normally even after we move our CSS to another page.